I was reading a stat the other day that it was 0.04% of SaaS companies ever make it to $10 million a year. 0.04%. 0.04% of SaaS companies ever make it to where we are right on the crux of making it to that. And it's not about the revenue. It's about the ability to build a team, ability to build a product that truly solves a problem and a need, and scaling value. And that's the way I look at the next 5 years, and that's what excites me about where we're going, man. Is when you continue to grow and scale the value you provide to the market, the value you provide to your employees, value you provide to the communities that you work in. That to me is a skill set I want to learn.
What's going on with Carrot, man? What the heck is going on with Carrot?
Yeah, I mean, it's
working from home for months.
Dude.
Hiring spree.
Like we were talking before we hopped in here, like you're always in a season, right? You're always in some sort of a season, and we're definitely in a season of change. We're in a season where, like you said, we're kind of coming out of the crucible of COVID, where it's like no one was going anywhere, and the office was shut down for like a month or month and a half. So luckily we were already remote, which is really cool. We've got the office here, and about a third of our staff, or maybe a little bit less than that now. Yeah. And then the rest of everyone is elsewhere, but we're fully remote. So that was kind of cool. But that was a season. We had to wade through that season and figure out how do we do business, how do we do life again, and how do you then adjust out of that? And like you said, man, hiring, going into 2020, same thing. We said, hey, this year we need to fill a bunch of gaps because we're at a spot in our business to where we've done an amazing job getting to here, but if you don't make some changes, it's going to be really hard to get to here. Yeah. And so that's kind of where we are. We're in that season. We're in a transition, a change of really making sure that we're bringing in the right people, getting people into spots where they can more specialize as much as possible as we continue to grow. But we're in that season. It's just like hard because you're always shooting 6, 7, 8 new faces in the past 3 months or something like that, right?
Do you feel like this is a spot where it's like, are you going all in? Are we filling these gaps just because they need to be filled, or is this like this is the year we have to go all in because it's sink or swim? Like, is this COVID related or growth related? Is this like what software companies run into, where if you hit this stage, you're like you need to go on a hiring spree and you need to ramp things up?
Yep.
Or is it just because our teams, we just have too many gaps?
Dude, it's a good question. It's a little bit of all of it, right? But at the end of the day, same thing. Let's talk about seasons again. It's going to be the theme of this episode of Inside Carrot is seasons, and the seasons we have in business, the seasons we have in life, and that it's okay to have seasons, up seasons, down seasons, seasons of change, seasons of constant, whatever it is. And so right now, man, going into 2020, we'd realized it's like, hey, we need to heavily invest into the product even more than we ever have. We kind of got behind that a little bit. In order to invest in the product, you've got to have the right people. You've got to have people that have been there, done that before, that know how to build product past what we have done, that know how to make sure that we're building the right things for our members so they can achieve what they want to achieve, right? And so that's something I always believe, that we only succeed when our customers succeed. And so that's a move we had to make. It's like either we make that investment or we be okay with eventually starting to whittle away because we're not innovating and helping our clients succeed anymore. You can't interpret my writing? What are you talking about?
So I see that's Track Top Talent, is that right?
Oh, it's terrible writing.
And what's that say?
Yeah.
So just pedagogy?
Yes, that.
Result for the club.
All of that. Just all of that. When I first presented this to people on the team, it was like, well, we're already getting customer results. So aren't we already doing this? Like, well, we're getting them because of the innovation we did years ago. And the reason that we grew is because we were massively innovating on customer results the first 3 years. And then when we stopped doing that as much, all the results from our previous innovation is equaling X. But to get where we want to go, we need to get the innovation back up. So this says innovating and producing results for clients is what it says, but something around that, right? Rolling up our sleeves, innovating on customer results. We're shifting into a new season here at Carrot of where do we go the next 5 years? What's the vision the next 5 years? And it really forced me to pull back and go, man, what do we want to do with this company? Yeah. Do we continue to grow it? Do we try to grow it faster? Do we like the pace of growth? Why should we even grow even more? And the more that I dug into it and talked with a bunch of team members and stuff, man, we just have an amazing opportunity to continue to impact people, but in a greater way. Yeah, we have an amazing opportunity to make our product even better and help people save even more time, which is what our stated mission is. There's lots of opportunities to help people make things easier. And also, man, right now, as I was looking at the next 5 years, I'm like, I just don't think we're done yet. We're not done yet. And when you have amazing people on a team, if they don't see opportunities to grow, and if you don't see a company growing in ways that open up opportunities for them to grow, then it's really hard to keep and retain those amazing people. And so that's another reason too. It's like, how do we create this as an amazing growth opportunity for everyone around us?
What's the motivator for you right now to keep growing it? I mean, you're looking in the next 5 years. It'd be so easy to be like, all right, we're set. Like, call this good. We don't need to invest a bunch in product. We don't need to grow a bigger team. Like, I'm doing all right. So what pushes you to be like, to write that 5-year vision?
Man, it's something honestly I really wrestled with last year, kind of on like a monthly basis. Okay, I'd think, well, I think I might want to do this with the company, and then maybe the next month I think I might want to do this, and I'd talk with, Chris, my CTO and partner. It's like, well, maybe we'll do this, and I think for me, man, it was when I really dove in and started to write down and tie it to my life's vision story. So I pulled up my life's vision story over here, and I said, what does my life look like in 20 years? What's going to look like in 10? What's going to look like in 5? And then I started to really pull back and go, what does work look like in 5 years for me? What does work look like in 10? Who do I work with? What kind of things do we work on? And every single time I started writing those visions, I couldn't, Carrot was never not a part of it. And of course my job will change, as will yours and other people's jobs. My job will change here, but Carrot wasn't ever not a part of it. And so I started to look at that and go, okay, if Carrot's not a part of it, then that kind of takes off the table like selling the company anytime soon.
Right.
So why is it that I want to have Carrot still be a part of it? Well, I want to keep doing work, and I enjoy the work that I'm doing. I feel we're just getting started impacting our community here in Roseburg. I feel we're just getting started, finally trying to figure out how to be like a real business.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably always going to feel that way, though.
Systems and process.
Yeah, and I hear from people who have kind of been further that never ends, right? It's like you think you got it figured out, and then 6 months later, you don't. I was reading a stat the other day that it was 0.04% of SaaS companies ever make it to $10 million a year. 0.04%. 0.04% of SaaS companies ever make it to where we are right on the crux of making it to that. And it's not about the revenue. It's about the ability to build a team, ability to build a product that truly solves a problem and a need, and scaling value. And that's the way I look at the next 5 years, and that's what excites me about where we're going, man. Is when you continue to grow and scale the value you provide to the market, the value you provide to your employees, value you provide to the communities that you work in. That to me is a skill set I want to learn.
When you told me at the beginning of this year, you said, dude, we're planning to hire, was it 10 to 15, I don't know, 8 to 15 something employees. I was like, I looked at you and I was like, are you serious? Here we are, and we're hiring like mad. I mean, for the size of our company, we're hiring pretty quickly. And I think the really interesting thing is to see can we maintain culture? Carrot's known, we're known in our community, we're known online for this culture of positivity and possibility and just the funness and the openness of what we do. We do a lot of things differently. And I think there's something so special and magic about that. And so one of my first, almost a fear was are we going to hold on to that? When I came in, we're the little company, and I feel like with every hire, we're a little bit further away from that. We're not the little company anymore. It's how do we hold on to that culture? So tell them what we've done to try and hold on to that, and is it working? What are we doing to try and maintain that culture with Danny and some things we've done?
Dude, so once again, let's talk seasons again, because that's gonna be the theme of this episode for sure. So heading into 2020, we realized that if we're gonna hire more people, like Brady said, we have to really have someone who's the point person for enabling us to hire well, first of all, but also making sure that there's someone who's really looking at culture, communication, all those types of things as a full-time job. And so we're just so fortunate to have Danny on our team, who you guys will get to meet, I'm sure. And she is the head of people here at Carrot, and the people team leader. And so she immediately, like month one, implemented systems in the company that have already started to pay massive dividends with Office Vibe, a software that we use, where team members can submit feedback and what we're doing great, what we're not, and start to answer quick little surveys each week. So us as leaders have a pulse. When you're smaller, it's easier to have that pulse just by sitting down with your 5 employees and talking to them every week.
Yeah.
Or even at 15 or 20, it's easier to have that pulse because someone could ping you directly on that stuff. But when you have layers of leadership, where that's what we've done the last year and a half, you start to kind of lose some of that flow of information. And when you lose the flow of information, that's when you have culture issues. That's when you have things starting to fester within a team where you think something's done this way and it's not done that way.
So one of the great features of Office Vibe obviously is that it tells us how the team is feeling about certain things. So we can use Office Vibe to find out areas that we can improve in and how we can increase team member happiness in those areas. So one example of that is wellness. When we first started using Office Vibe, right out of the gate, that was an area that we noticed very quickly we had a pretty low score in that a lot of team members who were feeling a lot of stress, they were feeling overworked, they were feeling like they didn't have a space to pull away and focus on themselves and personal growth and that kind of thing. So we took that information and we really encouraged people, especially when COVID hit, to, take time out of their day to spend that time with their family, to, exercise, to use their, gym stipend towards home workout equipment if they needed to. And then, that informed our decision about the 4-day work week during the month of July as well. We really wanted to, give team members time to pull away and enjoy an extra day with their family and friends. We've really been able to make more informed decisions about how we can actually move the needle to make our team more happy. My hope is that the team can see that their feedback is not falling on deaf ears. Not that it has in the past, but we've received, a couple pieces of feedback about, how we communicate things, about how we could do better about showing recognition. And that feedback has gone directly to, the people that need to hear it. And, we've focused really hard on making that change and changing our actions as a result of that. And, since doing that, we've never seen the same piece of feedback twice. And so opening up a space to receive feedback and to have those conversations and see how people are doing is step one, but actually creating a process for doing something about that or affirming that they are giving feedback, whether it's positive or negative, is the second step so that, something can actually happen as a result.
And so that's what we're working on there. And also, in addition to that, we're using that data from Office Vibe and then go, okay, where do we need to improve? Well, shoot, we need to improve in recognition. We thought we were doing good there, but obviously that's a soft spot. It's not like a 2 out of 10, it's a 6.5 out of 10, but it was one of the lower ones that was coming up in Office Vibe. And so what popped up there is being able to take data and then go, cool, how do we act on it to improve the things we need to improve? And so leadership has done a lot of things recently. Of being really intentional with recognition, putting Hey Taco back in so people are giving tacos to each other in Slack in celebration, really ramping up the Caught Being Awesomes on our Monday and Friday team calls. And then also the leadership team is going through reading a book that's very aptly named called The Carrot Principle. Yep. That's literally just about how do you bake more recognition into the company to fuel an amazing culture. And so this is what I'll kind of wrap it up here is in 2 weeks, I'm heading off to another season. I'm going on a month-long sabbatical. And that is part of the journey of scaling a company. Is I've found myself getting into the weeds in some things I probably shouldn't be, and probably haven't handed off some things to really smart people that are very capable of doing those things or making those decisions. And a lot of it's because it's just been in my lap, and so it's easy to keep doing it. Or it's because I'm going through and I need to improve my communication cadence, and I'm reading through everything, and I think adding my little feedback here or there helps, and sometimes it does, and oftentimes it doesn't. And so I'm getting ready for the month off. I'm not going to check into work. It's going to be a season of rest for me. I don't need a recharge, but I think the company needs me to step away for at least a month to be able to go, hey, let's run it without Trevor and let's find the gaps so then I can create process and system and hand leadership off to other people.
Hey friends, thanks so much for watching this first episode of Inside Carrot. If you enjoyed it, please share it up. And if you want to catch future episodes, just click the link below, subscribe, and we'll send you a little email when next episodes come out. Our challenge for you in this episode is to recognize someone important in your life. Whether that's an employee, a coworker, a spouse, someone, just take a second. It doesn't have to be crazy or complicated, but just take a moment to recognize someone and tell them how much they mean to you, because you never know the difference that it's going to make to them. Now on the next episode of Inside Carrot, Trevor will have returned from his 1-month sabbatical, and we will have just wrapped up a team-wide experiment where we took Fridays off. That's right, our entire Carrot team took a 4-day work week in July. So to find out what this did for our culture and our crew, if it worked, if it didn't, tune in to the next episode of Inside Carrot. We'll see you later. Well, I recognize that you're doing an awesome job leaving the temperature.
Dude, where's my tacos at? Where's my tacos
Some
at?
digital tacos.
Thanks, man. Appreciate
All right,
it.
we'll see you guys.
See ya.